Hello everyone, let's continue to build off of what we did in the last lecture video. So now we're going to continue with arithmetic I-type instructions. So I'm just going to give you an example of how do we implement the add instruction, because this generalizes to all the different arithmetic I-type instructions. So for a given add instruction that has RD set to 15, RS1 set to x1, and the immediate set to -50, we'll actually put it into the I-type instruction fields, so we'll get this operation here. Note that the way how we'll determine what operation we have is based off of the opcode, which tells us it's an immediate type opcode, or it's an immediate type instruction. And then the func3 is telling us that we want to perform an add operation. And then we have our register selection here, and finally the immediate here. So for the most part, we already support most of this stuff. I mean, we know how to we know how to add values together. We know how to write them back to a register. We know how to fetch a value from a register, but we don't know how to handle an immediate yet. So that's where this new part of our data path comes into play. So getting the instruction is the exact same for an I-type instruction, but parsing the instruction fields is a little bit different. We no longer have RS2, and instead we have immediate. And we need to actually split this out into something else so that we can actually parse this, so then we can actually pull out the value that we actually want. So in this case, you can see that our memory is going to be outputting the instruction and inputting it into this thing, which we call the immediate generator. You can think of the immediate generator as an abstraction, once again, to a block that will take in the bits of an instruction and then output whatever 32-bit value that instruction type told it to output. And we'll select which instruction type we're working with based off of this new control logic signal, the immediate select. So this will be a multi-bit signal that will tell us, do I want to do an I-type immediate, maybe an S-type immediate, and it will tell us those types of things. So the other steps, which are reading the data based off the parsed operands, so that might change, but we'll get into that in a little bit later. Performing the operation, well, I-type arithmetic instructions, they're going to perform the operation just like how R-type are, so that shouldn't need to change. And finally, we need to write that result back to the destination register. Once again, that shouldn't change for arithmetic R-type. But let's get a little bit more into how we need to decode this immediate. So the first step is to take those upper 12 bits and put them to the lower 12 bits. Finally, we need to sign extend the most significant bit in our instruction. So that's all the job that our immediate generator needs to do. So in this case, we only need to give the immediate generator the upper 12 bits, and finally it's going to sign extend those upper 12 bits so that we can have a full 32-bit value, and then it's going to output that value, so then we have a new 32-bit value. And this is only going to happen when the immediate select is set to the I-type instruction. Finally, we've outputted this new instruction type, but we need to now modify our data path once again. Reading data based off of our parsed operands needs to change a little bit, because an I-type operation does not do some operation based off of RS1 and RS2, so we don't need RS2 anymore. So let's add a mux in there to select our immediate over RS2. So that's what you can see I've added right here. So this mux will tell us, or it will select this immediate if we have this thing called bselect set to 1, otherwise we're going to select the register RS2. So this is a new control signal that we've just added, bselect. So what this is going to be is, if I have an R-type instruction, I want bselect set to 0, so then I can input to the ALU the value RS2. Otherwise, if it's set to 1, I want to pull the immediate because I am an I-type instruction. So I just want to point out that now we can actually select the immediate and RS1, which means we can perform an arithmetic I-type instruction. And that means that the operation is already done for us, and it will also write back to our reg file. So none of that needs to change based off of this. And the main thing I want to show you is that the only things that we really need to do is figure out how to generate the immediate and select the right type of immediate, and then push it to a mux to select between a register or the immediate, and finally push it into the ALU, and then everything else is the exact same. So that's how these next few lecture videos are going to go. It's going to be just adding building blocks to our CPU so then we can slowly support all of the different instructions while not hurting any of the previous ones.